Thank you guys once again for tuning in to the Table Talk at the Kool Spot. It is yours truly, Lemoi Desina, and my co-host.
Mike Jenkins.
All right. Yes, he is. But just want to just tune back in with you guys to, we're going to build today. I get excited about every show because it's always something different. It's always refreshing. It's always it's new. It's a new experience every time. So, and of course, the synergy gets better and better every time.
Yeah,
Being at this,
absolutely.
would you agree, bro, Mike?
Absolutely. It's organic, man.
Yeah.
I say always, not as one word, but as two. Always. All
Ways in
dimensions.
every way, every
That's the
dimension.
dynamic that we
I
need. We
love
need
that.
that right now.
That's fire. Yeah. So today we want to just talk about, because of course we all know that we're still caught up in this pandemic.
Yeah.
It's not over yet. We're learning a lot more information now, a lot of mixed information, but we're learning a lot more. And maybe we can talk and do some discussions or build on that today in this episode. But today we want to talk about courage. Again, there's a lot of people on the front line. A lot of people are putting their lives on the line. There are people that I know personally that have to live quarantined because one, in the relationship or in the medical field, working in the hospitals. And when they come home, they have to keep the distance between them and their spouse because they're exposed. And you don't want to bring that mess back home. And now you're causing, an epidemic in the house. And it's like, yo, what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So it's a serious deal, though. And again, I think that this will be a really good build on the topic, and we can just, go in on this, man. So, bro, Mike, courage, man. How would you identify courage? And I mean, a defining meaning, or just give an image, or how could you identify?
Well, let's start with what the rest of the world claims
Okay.
courage is. Okay. So I want to go to the definition. I like to say the gospel according to Merriam-Webster. The definition of courage. It's a noun. It says the ability to do something that frightens one.
Yeah.
Or strength in the face of pain or grief. Right? So you think about pain, you think about grieving. And you pretty much what it is to me is something is happening.
Wait. Let me ask you this. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Go ahead.
So I'm frightened because of the pain and or grief. Okay. Go ahead.
That's correct. And then fighting against that.
You're fighting.
For me, it's just, doing it anyway. That's the easiest way to say it. Doing it anyway.
Agreed.
Something is happening around you. Something is immediately in front of you that poses as a threat. Your body is saying no. It wants to run away. It is you fighting your flight.
Yeah.
People think it's fight or flight. I think either you choose to fight it or not. You're fighting your flight. You're fighting your body saying no. You're saying, yes, I'm going to do this thing.
Yeah.
That's what it is for me.
Yeah.
It actually reminds me of a line that I remember from a great poet by the name of Dylan Thomas. It says, do not go gentle into that good night. Rage. Rage against the dying of the light. Speaking about courage.
Courage. Good stuff right there, man. And I would definitely agree with you with all of that. The definition, I think courage could be something that can go over most people's heads because life could be so comfortable. So being comfortable can keep you in a space where you may not even want to acknowledge. I think it's more comfortability. My opinion, it only suppresses what needs to be addressed, right? So being comfortable will just only keep you in a space where it's like, okay, well, yeah, I can face this issue and things could be harder, or I can just continue to live like this where things is easier, and and take the easy way out. And I think a lot of people, but I would say everybody has some courage in them. Would you agree?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's different levels to all of it for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
The idea of either you are, Mel Gibson for Braveheart
yeah,
or
yeah.
a kitty in the corner. No, it's not that dynamic, bro.
That's a big difference. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But definitely courage for me though, man, is definitely attacking the issues that are at hand, man. Like if I see it and it's in here, and I got to deal with it. And if it affects me, affects my family, then yes, I need to deal with it. If it's dealing with another person, I'm the type of person I don't like conflict with people. I don't, because I understand everybody doesn't have a proper way to dialogue to resolve an issue. So,
Mm.
like, if I have to approach somebody that's very contentious, I'm a bit more hesitant to
Yeah.
do so because I already know what to expect.
Mm.
And part of that is because I know me. You know what I mean? And I'm a pretty chill dude, but at the same time, it's like I also know once I've tried everything that I can to kind of de-escalate a situation, then I flip. I just let it rip. Like, okay, this is what you want, take that.
Yeah,
I
man.
turn into Diddy to take that, and I do the shimmy on them. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I remember having a bill with you about this before some time ago, and you said I turned into Limo.
yeah. Limo surfaces, right? So a lot of people don't know Limo is the alter ego, right? So Limo is the young me, the hard-headed version of me. The Limo is what my friends and family know me back home as, right? Limo. It's not Lemoi. A lot of them don't even know me for Lemoi. They don't even know that that's my first name. They know me by Limo because that's who I
Yeah.
grew up as is Limo. So Limo was the character of the hard-headed, the selfish, uh, the knucklehead, the negative side of being a Taurus, right?
A Taurus.
Right.
Oh boy, here we
That's
go.
that's right. That's a bad thing. The hard-headed version of me, man. And but now I've gone through a lot of bad things operating as Limo. So when I started in the artistry, people say, "Yeah, man, what do you want to go by? You gonna go by Limo, Lemoi?" And I was like, "No, just call me Lemoi, my
Yeah.
first name." And then it came into a thing as I began to grow into the artistry, doing the storytelling thing. A good friend of mine, shout out to Carol Coco Diggs. She was actually my very first manager. At the
Okay.
time, she was only charging like $100 a month, right? I'm like, yo, that's a steal. Let me get
Yeah.
all of that, right? So, and this was years ago, right? And I said, and then she started to kind of help mold me into the character and the artistry and all of that. She was like, what would be a good name for you would be lyrical storyteller. I like that. I'm like, yo, I like that too. That actually fits.
Got it.
So shout
I
out to
would
Carol
never do
Coco
that.
Diggs, man. Yeah, for giving me that identity
Yeah.
as an artist. But yeah, I would definitely think that courage. A lot of people, courage could be something that you can take, and what could I use it as the opposite of? It can be the opposite of. It can be the opposite of fear. You know, I can use it that way, right, bro, Mike? The
Yes, you
opposite of fear.
can.
Yeah.
Absolutely can.
So
Yeah.
the opposite of fear. What is contrary to courage? Fear. You know, and fear can keep us in that place of comfort. And fear can keep us in that place of saying, well, I can approach this person and alleviate the stress and the pain that I feel,
Yeah.
or I can just hold on to it and continue my life with this buried on the inside. And as time goes by, then it's going to do nothing but boil over. And I'm going to explode on somebody sooner or later, right?
That's right. That's
So,
right.
so either courage or fear. What do you choose?
Mhm.
Choose to live with that hurt and pain that the definition describes, or the grief, right? Or overcome it and fight. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
that's so in sync with what I was about to say
Yeah,
about breaking down the word courage. Okay, it comes for another.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
brother, break down
yeah. Bring it. Come
courage.
on with
Okay,
it.
so core, Cour, cower, is actually the Scottish slang term for coward.
Ah,
So then you have cower and then you have rage. Now that R has to pick a side.
Right.
Either you're gonna pick the side of the coward or you're gonna pick the side of the rage. Most
Ah.
people, when they depict courage, like when they have, I don't know, Mel Gibson from Braveheart, he
Yeah.
didn't do it calmly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Braveheart.
freedom,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was that call to action being courage. He was raging, right?
Yeah.
The whole dying of the light, something that was taking us away from being free, taking us from being free from whatever the obstacles in front of us. So,
Yeah.
those obstacles that are in front of us could be anything.
Yep.
It could be anything. It could be a person. It could be a place. It could be a thing. It could
Yeah.
be
Mm-hmm.
a certain situation.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, a certain pest that don't pay the rent in your house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It could be any of those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are levels to courage.
Yeah.
I want you guys to understand it's not like this whole dynamic, like you either have to be Mel Gibson
Right.
or you're gonna be that little kitty cat in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's so many different levels, but you can build courage.
So how would you relate it to this pandemic that's going on? Courage.
We got to think of this first off as the enemy that's in front of us, the thing that is around us that is telling us to fear, right? We was looking at the news,
Yeah.
and looking at New York Post and all of these different things that is on social media. Jacob Javits Center turned into a makeshift temporary hospital, and the way that they were conducting things when they had certain dead bodies pick up. The procedures they were going through with that, they were literally placing them out, waiting for trucks to pick them up like they were trash. And of course, nobody in New York City wants to go to Jacob Javits because they fear that they're going to be one of another bags in the trash.
Yeah.
And who's to say that if, government thinks of this as a great idea, that we don't have a lot of these other places that are turned into makeshift places. And that's one of the fears. The overpopulation of this virus going viral.
Right.
That's what we're fearing right now.
Right.
And most people are told to cower. They're thinking of the whole stay-at-home movement as cowering away from this situation. Oh, this ain't real. No, this is all BS. It don't happen to Black people.
We've been seeing that all week. That's a lie.
Yeah.
All week. Blowing it up.
Yeah. We've been told, I think we've been using the wrong tools to fight, to rage against the dying of the light, because all we end up doing is just staying in darkness. We stay in these dark rooms and we keep these computers on and we keep looking at all this stuff that just pushes out more things to make us more like cowardly.
Yep. Because that's what the news media is portraying. It's fear. Be afraid now. And again, we talked about it before. There are fear hormones that go off in the body that causes the body to get sick.
That's right.
So one may begin to get sick and may think, oh, well, I think this is a symptom of this COVID, right?
Right.
and then start to panic and then run off to the doctor and to the hospital. But the hospital is the last place you need to be because that's where it is.
That's right. Most people get sick in hospitals than not. Now, I'm not talking about giving you guys advice for people who have terminal illnesses. No.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, for most people, the holistic approach towards things is the last option that they think about. They don't think about it at all.
Right.
They're thinking about that fear. And then what about the people who absolutely positively need to be in a hospital and are afraid?
Yeah.
Medical necessity, for example, right? Me, I'm medical necessity. I wear scrubs and I have to wear that ninja surgeon mask every day. And I see people who are in need of our care every single day. I work in Durham, North Carolina, right when 54 and 55 meet. And there are fewer and fewer people coming in because they're afraid.
Right.
They have been engineering this fear in them to not receive the healing that they need to get. We have to be careful of that type of stuff. We do.
Yeah, but for everybody that for everybody that's putting their lives on the line,
Yeah,
those that are considered essential workers, those that are still out in public because it's their job, it's a necessity, it's what's needed. Those that even volunteering, like we commend you guys. We
yeah,
lift you guys up on high right now because we although this invisible killer is or this invisible enemy is taking out people by the masses, man. It won't change unless we have people on the front line.
that's
We
right. That's right. Because this is warfare.
this
Make
is
no
war.
mistake, y'all. This
Yeah.
is warfare. We
Warfare.
are at war for our bodies, for our temples, against all of these different impurities, and this is an approach towards having chemical warfare as an option.
Yeah.
We have to be real careful about that too.
Like a stimulation. Like,
Yeah.
hey, could this be an option in the future? Absolutely. We're going through it now for a reason.
Yes.
And for everybody that have seen that post about the person asking Siri about, hey, did the government start this COVID-19 or coronavirus? And then it talks about how, yeah, the government started off as a stimulation to kind of see how people are
It
going
broke
to
it down, bro.
I'm like, yo, ooh, come on, Siri. But
Man.
again, we don't want to approach this as from the lens of conspiracies. That's not the
No,
objective here.
no.
We just letting you guys know the information that's already out there
And the misinformation is
and
out there too,
misinformation. Yeah,
so that you won't be in fear, so you won't be the coward, so you
yeah,
can rage against this misinformation.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
the thing that we need people to just realize, like, how do we protect ourselves better? We've talked about that in previous podcasts.
Mhm.
How do we protect ourselves better? And Mike came up. He shared a list of the different vitamins that we need to be taking on a daily basis. The
That's right.
zinc, I need to go get mine this weekend.
Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna need that list again, bro, Mike. And
Okay. It's real simple.
yeah, yeah,
It's A, D, Z. Vitamins A, vitamin D, and zinc. Now, update. This just in. All of a sudden, it's getting harder and harder to find vitamin D.
mm,
It's getting harder and harder to order vitamin D. There's been price gouging.
hmm
Vitamins. That's crazy, right? You would never think that you could go to a store and ask for vitamin D, which usually costs $7, and all of a sudden it costs 14.
right, right,
Or, multivitamins for that matter.
hmm
Multivitamins. There's a bottle of Central multivitamins that costs like $40 in certain places, which is ridiculous.
crazy.
Okay. But again, this is some things that I want you to do anyway. For you, for your health, do them anyway.
Yeah,
The fear is, oh, it costs more. Oh, I ain't got enough money I need this for tissue. I need this for this. Listen, your body is your temple.
yeah,
Hold the fort. Do it anyway.
yeah,
Get what you need holistically, so that in the long run, your inside of your body will be doing a
yeah,
whole lot better.
yeah.
And one of the other things that you'll learn is the more that you fortify your fort, the more confident you get.
hmm
Fear and confidence don't mix. You
Mm,
got to either be one or the other.
yeah,
Confident, and you'll go through some things with that fortification,
right.
which is what you need, because you know that you're good.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying, see, here's the other thing about courage too. Courage does not mean be bold and stupid.
Right, right,
I
right,
don't mean be running out here with no mask on.
right.
and
I would just say the
shaking
world.
everybody's hand and hugging them and doing what your what's
Boy,
the name?
Trump.
Your boy Kenneth Copeland did.
Oh yeah,
Did you see that?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
When
Yeah.
Kenneth Copeland, he got on the online church thing and he go, air of the living. It was whatever crap he did. Come on, ministry. What are y'all doing?
Ah, don't start with me with this ministry thing. Yeah, 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 yeah. And we're both ministers of the gospel, just in case
That's
anyone
right.
doesn't know.
And we'll minister online.
Yeah, we will minister online, but what you won't get that
No,
what
no,
they
no,
give
no.
you guys.
Oh man.
We take more of the pragmatic approach. You guys don't have to worry about all the extra theatrical extraness.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so but yeah, people but what I do appreciate though is just knowing that a lot of people are willing to put themselves on the front line, man. I was listening to the radio NPR the other day, and they were talking about relationships, right? Because everybody's kind of quarantined right now. And how are people responding that are in relationships but that don't live together? So they had some stories online, which I thought was real cute. And I had to turn it because it's about relationships. I don't want to hear about that. So, but look, so what happened was there's a couple it was a couple stories, but one that really stood out to me was there's a couple. The guy would actually go to the girl's house, young couple, but he would stand outside of her window, and they would be on the phone with each other while the window's in between them, and they're both standing looking at each other talking, and the guy would be outside, and I was like, oh, that's cute, that's real cute, you know what I mean? And then I had to turn it because I was like, that's too mushy. So, but I did like it. I did think that was really, really cool and creative. So there are ways that we can still spend time with each other in
Yeah.
spite of the quarantine because people are still outside. People are still now. There was another video that's a friend of mine sent me online, and I want to say her name is Kathy Griggs. I'm gonna make sure I don't want to mess her up, but she sent me a video. Kathy Griggs. She sent me some videos last night about people right now in what is it? Is it Little Rock right now? They had a coronavirus parade, bro, in the midst of this pandemic. They had a coronavirus parade, and I had the video.
What did the floats look like, bro?
Huh?
What did the floats look like?
They didn't have floats. It was like they turned it
They had
into a
little
car
germs,
show.
just like.
No, they turned it into a car show, and people brought out bikes, flooding the streets, parking lots, bro. You talking about? And then the fight broke out because an accident happened. And of course, the most ignorant one gonna have to bring the camera out. Oh, we lit down here in our little rock, Arkansas. I'm like, yo, this is so stupid.
Man.
So, again, they're exposing themselves to this as if this isn't real. But obviously, they can't be keeping up with the news if they're out here having a parade in the midst of this pandemic. And people like in close quarters. I'll send you the video after this is over, bro.
Yeah, we need to have that.
Yeah, and then the girl that got to the accident, it must have been one or two people in the car that caused the accident, and the people that were the victims of the accident had maybe 4 or 5 girls in the car. All 4 or 5 of them jumped out of the car, bro, Mike, and jumped into the other car, beating the other person up, and ain't nobody stopping it and breaking it up. I'm like, yo, this is not the time for that.
No, it is
Come
not.
on. Come on, black people. What are we doing? Man, so yeah.
Wait, it was black people doing it?
It was all black people, not one white person in the crowd.
Black people live in Arkansas?
It says Little Rock. I'm guessing this is Arkansas, right?
That's AR, baby. I didn't know black people live in Arkansas.
I mean, bro, they out there unless they talking about another Little Rock somewhere else. I don't know.
Goodness, man.
I don't know. But yeah, I said, you know what? I can't do it, man. I can't deal with it right now, bro. I can't even mess with it, bro. So, but yeah, man, I just think that again, like you have people that are out here taking it serious, people that are putting their lives on the line, people that are distancing themselves from their own family so that they can help save the world and contribute to that. But then you have other people that's like this, that's like, yo, hell with this pandemic or this coronavirus. I'm gonna get out here and still live my best life. I'm like, yo, we gotta do something different.
I gotta change the definition to live y'all best life.
Yeah. Now you seen in the post that I shared about the death rate, coronavirus death rate affecting more blacks than any other race.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of skeptics in that post, bro. Like over 200 and I think last I checked, 217 comments, and it's still going. And this Thursday's post on Facebook. So there are a lot of skeptics in there. Oh, this isn't real. I don't believe it. You guys are just taking the bait. Some people saying it's a biological warfare against rural communities. Some people saying, oh, well, no, this is how many people do you know personally? You know what I mean? How many celebrities you know that are being affected by this? I'm like, yo, come on. Here's the facts. Boom, boom, boom. All right, okay, boom, boom, boom. I'm hitting them across the head like, yo, this is real. Take it serious. Man.
And I think both of us actually have people that are in quarantine right now. Yeah. The news that I got as far as New York Post and all that, it wasn't just me reading an article. No, I had a couple of conversations with some people in Bushwick, Brooklyn, and they were telling me that this is what it was looking like. I got people out there in the Bronx right now that are on quarantine.
Yeah.
Why? And when I asked them why, I said, what was y'all doing? What did they say they were doing? Out there being stupid. Now, there's a difference between you're not being a coward because you don't feel like you ain't going to be stupid. You're respecting the situation.
Right.
So there's a certain amount of respect that goes there.
And like I told somebody in one of the posts, I said, even if this was a lie, let's just go with that.
Okay.
Is this great enough? Is the lie big enough to at least make you consider making some changes? So whether it be in some health conscious moves, or whether it be about, okay, well, let me just kind of stay in the house a little bit longer, and take that precautionary measure to make sure I'm okay and my family's okay. Is it big enough to at least make you consider? You know what I'm saying? Because
I know it's done that for me.
Right.
I'm a married man.
Yeah.
And both of us, there is no such thing as one person working in the household.
Right.
Every able body is doing something to contribute to the household. So me and my wife, very, very busy. Capital B. We barely see each other.
Right.
We'd be happy if we see each other 2 hours a day.
Right.
And now because of COVID-19, I almost, dare I say it, unpopular comment, I almost want to thank COVID-19. Thank you for allowing me to spend more time with my wife. Thank you for allowing me to spend more time with my family and work and continue to work on my relationship, because all relationships are work. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's for some people, if they really thought about it, if they, had their nest egg and they prepared, then you wouldn't be scared.
You wouldn't be so scared. Now, do you know that there's, again, Kathy Griggs, I appreciate it. Shout out to Kathy Griggs. She's also an activist in Fayetteville, too. So she's into the whole justice system and being on the front line, challenging the system.
Yeah, you tell them front lines Fayetteville. They call it Vietnam for a reason.
Yeah. She's on the front line, bro. She's really been keeping me plugged in. But she sent me another video about the prison system. Now that's going to be the discussion for next week. All of next week is addressing the prison system, because that's the thing that right now that's really surfacing in the public. So she sent me a video of people in Mississippi, the prison system, the prison down in Mississippi, and they talk about how Mississippi is one of the poorest poorest places here in the United States, and next to Louisiana. So it's horrible, bro. Like, people are sleeping on the floor. They have rats coming out the wall. Fights are breaking out. People are stabbing each other in the midst of this pandemic, bro, because it's the stress level. Like, the officers are actually smuggling cell phones into the prisons so they can help these guards get the news out about what's going on. It's scary, bro. And I'm just like, and that's why Jay-Z and I believe, what was my man name? He did the song. What's the song he did? He took the old Eazy-E joint. I'm a pro, I'm a pro. I ain't gonna say the cuss word, what I mean? We're trying to keep it clean, but you know what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember. But anyway, some of these celebrities are actually taking actions. dealing with the injustice in the criminal system, how they won't let people free. They're like, you could actually allow a lot of these inmates to go home with some kind of bracelet or something that's going to, track their every move and make sure they're not moving around like they're supposed to be on quarantine anyway. So at least for those that have minor charges, let them go. You know what I'm saying? And it'll free up some space to at least make some improvements in the prison that's severely overcrowded right now in this time while we're having this pandemic. And the pandemic is inside of the prison too. So people
How do you do social distancing?
You can.
In a correctional facility. You can't.
You can't, bro.
But we can't talk too much about that, man, because we're about to dig into the next episode. Because I'll dig into that one. I got a lot about that one too.
Yeah, but that's going to be one of the things that we build on next week. I'll start sharing throughout my social media posts throughout the week. And, maybe we could do an episode next weekend on that, kind of gather some information on what's shared throughout the week. And then we build on that. So, yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, man. But courage. Like, what are we doing? Are we utilizing fear to guide us, or are we utilizing courage to guide us?
Right. I mean, we even talked about fear. We had our own full discussion about fear, and the idea of, is there such thing as a healthy fear versus the unhealthy fear? And what ends up happening is we'll get them mixed up. We'll say, well, it's a healthy fear because all the newscasters are telling us to not do this or that.
Right.
And we'll follow that blindly. See, that's the thing about courage too. It's not blind. Okay. If you were to run towards your enemy with your eyes closed, what's the percentage you actually winning against that enemy?
With your eyes closed, nothing.
With your eyes closed, you swinging.
Yeah, you don't have maybe 2%.
maybe 2. maybe 2. But the thing is, we have to look at this with our eyes open. We have to be aware. The opposite of being afraid is aware. We fear what? The unknown.
The unknown.
So let's build on what we know. What is it that we know? We know that COVID-19 builds upon people who have pre-existing conditions. Yeah. We know that some of our addictions add to our pre-existing conditions. We also know that we can undo those pre-existing conditions if we go about things in a healthier way. We have healthier ways to do a lot of things. This would be the perfect time to focus on that, and being able to build the confidence of our bodies also builds up our immune system. Our immune system means that we won't catch the things that are out there. You have to catch a flu. You have to catch a cold. You have to be open to that. So being able to fortify your body and knowing that you're doing the right things will build up the confidence to not be fearful. Now, I'm not saying that means you're going to walk, like Jesus right beside you.
Right.
And not touch you. I'm not saying that.
Right.
Saying respect the situation.
Yeah.
But definitely not cower.
Yeah.
Not cower. It's funny to me how you got the thugs, the gangsters, they scared.
Shoot.
You got some hard body thugs out here.
Yep.
Terrified. And let me tell you something, man. It's not an easy thing for a person in the concrete jungle to be terrified of something like a virus.
Right.
We've been through worse. And I think that's the other thing too. We need to realize that we've been through worse. We have accomplished and achieved goals despite adversities that were much worse than what these this COVID-19 and this supposed germ warfare is suggesting.
Right. Yeah. So it's one of those things, man, and we just want to empower you guys to, for those that have courage, keep fighting the good fight. For those that haven't found their courage, we got to still. I mean, even in spite of our limitations to be able to help someone else, I think there's always something that we can do.
Mhm.
And even if it starts with your neighbor, it's always one of the best suggestions as far as ways to help right now is starting with the people that's closest to you,
Yeah.
the elders, if you can, of course, with precaution.
Mm-hmm.
But any way that you can help your elders, even like if they need to take out their trash, you know what I mean? It's that time of the
Yeah.
week. Hey, put your trash outside your door and I'll make sure I have my gloves on or whatever. And then, you know what I'm saying? Bring their trash out near the road for them, or just whatever kind of service that you can offer
That's right.
to protect somebody that's the elderly community so that they can be protected from this COVID-19.
That's right.
Anything. So like I know Instacart right now, they've been booming, but they kind of had a bad rep here this week, bro, Mike, because people are now stealing their groceries. Still, so the same people that's supposed to be out here shopping for these customers
Mm-hmm.
are taking groceries home with them that they didn't even have to pay for.
Mm.
I understand, like, times is hard right now for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Your main source of income may be shot until unemployment kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
And that may be the case. I don't know. And you may resort to saying, hey, well, let me just jump on this Instacart to kind of help bring some residuals in until unemployment kicks in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we're finding that the same people that are doing these side hustles are becoming thieves, bro. And they're taking these groceries that don't belong to them and they're supposed to be offering a good service, a good deed to somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I'm just like, yo, that's crazy. And they're manipulating people to tip them more now because Instacart they're not giving them that I don't think they're doing the hazard pay right. I don't think they're doing the hazard.
No, they are not. Actually, they were fighting for that hazard pay
Yeah.
some weeks ago, but they didn't come to fruition
And
on
then
that
come
yet.
through.
It's definitely a time to replace that fear with gratefulness.
Yeah.
Replace just that idea of being scared
Yeah.
with gratefulness, man. And then you'll be so tied up with being grateful, you won't have time to be afraid.
Right.
I
True.
practice that on a daily anyway, but even more now.
True.
Um, when I say thank you to a person that gives my groceries back to me,
Mm-hmm.
I actually mean it. It's not just something that I was taught to say. I'm looking them square in the eye. Thank you. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Again, these are things that kind of like back in the previous episode, appreciating with value. We
Right.
appreciate ourselves with value. We got to appreciate other people
Yeah.
with value.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, can I dig into nature a little bit? The
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
nature
Absolutely.
works, if that's all
Yeah.
right.
That was a
Okay,
point I wanted
so
to anyway. Go ahead. Go
let's
ahead.
take let's take an ant, for example.
Good. That's why I was going with it. Yep.
So an ant, as small as that ant is, can carry multiple times its body weight.
Yeah.
Now, even with that amount of strength, it can't carry the whole load on its own.
Mm.
What does that ant do? Without even really having much more than just the antenna communicating, saying that we're going this way and we're grabbing this,
Mm-hmm.
they all link together
Mm-hmm.
in a single file,
Mm-hmm.
and they find whatever is need to be acquired, and they place their whole bodies underneath this heavy load so they can all carry together. Here's
Yep.
my suggestion.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're ants right now.
Yeah.
We're ants
Good, bro.
in this huge, huge, huge field full of resources, but for whatever reason, we can't carry it all on our own.
Yeah.
Full of issues that we just can't carry it all on our own. but nobody said that we ever had to.
Yeah.
Let's form Voltron. Let's form a group
Mhm.
like those ants. Get under the situation, carry it from out from under us.
Good.
That is what we need to do in order to get rid of these fears. Because if you have an enemy in front of you, whatever that enemy is, it could be addiction, it could be
Mhm.
uh, a relapse, it could be this fear, this COVID-19 thing, it could be something as trivial as a bully. It could be any of those different things.
Right.
And if it's just you, you're still gonna be fearful.
Yeah.
You'll have a certain amount of respect. At best, you have enough confidence to say, well, if I get beat, at least I swing.
Yep.
But you won't swing blindfolded, will you?
Nope.
You got to look directly at the situation. Now, won't you feel that much more confident to take on the problems that you deal with?
Mm-hmm.
If you got a team behind you,
Hmm.
you got a team beside you. That's how the ant works in
Yeah.
nature.
That's good, bro.
If we ants, and
Mm-hmm.
we need this load carried away from us, or we need this load carried of things to us that we need,
Mm-hmm.
find your fellow ants.
Yeah.
Find them. Find your carpenters and your workers.
Hmm.
Find these people. And that community can achieve many things. Not anything, but many things.
Many. So let me add. Can I add to that, bro, Mike?
Absolutely. Build.
So what I like about the ant community is everything that you said, but I think about their purpose and why they were created. What did they do? What are they created for? I should say.
Mm.
Ants are created to communicate and work.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. They communicate with each other and they work. That's it. That's an ant's life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So think about how like, I love that. I love how you described it. Like you get under the situation, you move it together. Think about like how ants, how they are able to create all these different little tunnels and how they protect the queen. And like I was watching I love watching ants, man. I think it's just a phenomenal world because they have their own little world underground, right?
Yeah.
And how even the queen have little ants that surrounds the queen. And like you would think like the queen is actually the size of it would look like it's about the size of like a walnut. It's so big. But it's because it's surrounded by all these little ants that's protecting it. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that I really like about ants is how, and I think I mentioned it before, how they're able to bounce back in hard times. You know, and just their whole phase of understanding their purpose, communicate and work. So in times of recession, what do? We communicate and work.
Mm-hmm.
I seen the study where the guy he took a bunch of ants. It was probably about 1,000 little ants that connected together in the inside of a bowl of water, right?
Mm.
So he put 1,000 ants in a bowl of water, right? And what they did was they all clung to each other, right? And he
Mm.
took a tweezer and pressed down on the top of them of this little cluster of ants.
Yeah.
They all went underwater, but they were still holding on to each other.
Mm.
And ants also have a repellent that's naturally around their body so they could actually go underwater for a certain period of time and still live, right?
Yeah.
So he pressed them underwater and then he lift up and the ones on the top grabbed the tweezers and held the rest of the bundle. Bro, the joint was crazy.
Yeah.
So the ones on the top grabbed the tweezers together. This is communication, bro.
This man is ministering to you people. Understand this here. This is
Bro.
good stuff.
So watch, bro. So listen, they grab the tweezers together as a collective and lift the rest of the 1,000 up from out of the water. And then the guy pushed them back into the water and they still held on to the tweezers and they still held on together as one unit under the water. So I'm like, yo, this is phenomenal, bro. So what I loved about it was you cannot tell me if ants understand the process of recession and succession. When things fade and things fall apart and break, you know, of course, we all go through a phase of recession where things happen and we begin to lose things. But in order for them to come back, they do it collectively as a community, right? And you can't tell me if an ant could understand that process, and we as human beings having dominion over all things
That's right.
can't work together to come up out of this situation with this COVID-19, and we're doing dumb stuff like what they're doing in Little Rock, right? You can't tell me that there's no reason why we can't do better as a people in this time right now, bro. You see what I'm saying, bro, Mike?
It's hitting me hard and
Bro,
heavy, man. It's hitting me,
crazy.
man.
It's crazy, man. But the ant colony is phenomenal, bro. I love
Yes,
it.
it is.
I love
Yes,
it.
it is. We can learn so much from nature
Yeah.
about courage. But some people, they like, well, they just bugs.
Yeah, right. But no.
Okay, so let's go. Let's go to some humans then. Let's go to some
Let,
stories
let me,
about some
let, me,
humans
let me
and
say this.
courage.
Let me say this. Let me say this because the overall purpose of me saying that was because an ant's life is a courageous life.
That's right.
They know nothing else but courage.
That's
They're
right.
created to be courageous.
That's right.
Period. And we can do the same, bro.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Absolutely. And we have to, and we need to.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Why isn't it? Why is it? Why is it that courage, when you type it on your Google or your Gmail, courage images, you see the lion.
Yeah.
That lion, let me tell you, that lion be lying, man. You know why?
They look like
that lion
like
ain't doing none of the hunting.
Hey, you remember when Snoop Dogg changed his name to Snoop Lion?
Yeah.
I'm like, Snoop Lion? Lion?
Like, what is you doing, dog?
Money, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but seriously, man, that lion be lying. The lioness does all of the hunting.
Right.
He just sitting there.
Talk about it, bro.
Waiting on his meal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, no. I'm not the new. I declare the new image of courage gonna be that ant, not that lion. That lion, but lion.
I love it.
No,
that just gave me a T-shirt idea.
I
got an idea.
It appreciates with value.
Yeah.
Understand? Yeah, but I mean, okay. And then also the idea of some of the stories in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You got David and Goliath.
Mm-hmm.
You got Daniel where? In the lion's den.
Yeah.
These are stories of courage. Now, we've given you real, how the kids said, IRL, in real life stories of our courage.
Yeah.
The overcoming of our adversities individually and as a people. Scientific proof, objective and subjective findings of courage, and even biblical courage. So I don't think there's any excuses left.
Nope.
I don't think there's any excuses left to not have courage. Enough courage. They say the faith, the size of a mustard seed. Size of a mustard seed. You can grow upon that. You can grow upon that. Homework assignment.
Come on.
Turn off all your lights in your house and walk to your bedroom. Don't run, walk.
I like it. I like
Courage.
Courage. Don't worry about bending your pinky toe back. Just
or hitting any Legos or any of that. To your bed.
Don't worry about that. Just go. Turn the lights off and go.
Yes. Practical application is, I believe, synergistic with manifestation. Mm-hmm. If I can apply it in 3 dimensions, I can apply it in 4 and 5. Good. What do I mean by that? 3 dimensions, height, weight, depth. That's what gives us this, right? Anything that is spiritual is higher dimension. That's a higher dimension. That is beyond a lot of people's understanding, period. That's as within, so without. That is everything. Yeah. All encompassing. Okay. That's beyond space and time. But let's start from the ground and work our way up when it comes to building our courage. That's your first of many homework assignments in regards to building your own courage. Here's another one. If you don't want to turn off your lights and then walk to your bedroom, how about calling that one person that you just can't stand talking to because they intimidate you in any kind of way? Okay. I'm not saying make up with them. I'm not saying remarry him. Call your ex. Bring some courage out here. Oh, hey, how you doing? Hey, the world is in it. I just want to make sure you're breathing.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. Some courage to do that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Homework assignment. How about you go out in nature, take off your shoes and socks and walk in your own yard?
Good.
And own your own yard and be one with the nature like these ants that we talk about.
Well, I know some women that say that's blasphemous, bro. Hey, there's a lot of women that won't walk in no grass, bro.
Man, listen.
A lot of them walk in that grass, bro. That's funny. That's funny. But no, that's good though. That's being in tune with nature, man. I think it's definitely important. And I've always said it. I'm just a firm believer. Like nature give us the character of God that teaches us how we are to interact with each other.
Yeah.
You can't claim to be spiritual without understanding how nature works. Understanding how nature works comes with spirituality. You know, so again, we can do this shouting, hollering, roots and everything else, but if we're not interacting appropriately with one another, then you're not tuned in. You're not tuned in. So check it out, man. Nature's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's gorgeous. And yeah, this is the thing. The ant colony. Study the ant colony, man.
Yes.
There's a lot of good stuff in that. A lot of good stuff in that by itself. Man, that'll change your life.
Yes, it will.
That'll change your life, bro. Think of it. Ants are created to communicate and work. Point blank, period. An ant's life is a courageous life. That's what it all boils down to. I love it.
I tell you what, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Because the last episode, it went so well in regards to the book giveaway for those who are going into you know, contributing, being a part of that ant colony with Patreon for us.
Go ahead.
I do have a book.
Okay.
Titled The Ant Colony. And it speaks specifically about the mechanics that goes into the mentality of the ants, of the ant colony. Ant Colony is the name of it by Michael DeForge. If you are or you haven't yet tuned in with us and have, you know, become a member of Patreon and has donated to Patreon for the cause of being able to lift up this particular community during COVID-19 with the Kool Spot, with Mr. Kool Spot right here. If you do that, I will send you a copy of that book. I'll send you a copy of The Ant Colony, Michael DeForge.
Nice. Bro, Mike, what book you don't have? The last thing I think you have is something about the ant colony, but that's funny.
I'll tell you what. Here's a story of courage, real quick. An in real life story of my courage. At one time, I was in Brooklyn, New York, and I was homeless. And I was homeless around 2008. Now, what particular virus was taking place in 2008? H1N1. Now, me, homeless, no masks, no ninja mask, no surgical, nothing. Here I am with one pair of pants, 2 shirts to my name, $35, Bible in the duffel bag. Homeless, real homeless. Not just sleeping in somebody's crib. No, I ain't know anybody yet.
Right.
Homeless. In the middle of H1N1, and everybody is looking like ninjas and surgeons. And I didn't get a single disease, not even a sneeze, a cough, a sniffle. You know why? Because I brought faith into my body.
Yeah.
And I said that the Lord will preserve my body so that I continue through my purpose for greater things.
Yeah.
Because he is my shepherd.
Right.
And I shall not want.
That's good.
I prayed. Prayer is an act of courage. Soon, prayer might actually be in real life an act of courage. You might be persecuted for your prayer. Another homework assignment. Maybe the first time or the last time. Maybe your last time was your first time in regards to prayer. Find a prayer.
Yeah.
Put one up for your people.
Yeah.
Because that's some energy.
Good stuff.
It takes courage for a man that's still so tall to get down on his knee. It takes courage to do that.
Fire. That's fire. Good stuff, man. So I mean, that's our take on courage. I really appreciate this build, man. This was really, really, really good, actually. And really this was fun, actually. So
You act surprised, bro. This is what we talking about, baby.
because it's just, you just never know what conversation is going to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. You're
It's
right
always, again, it's always refreshing, man, just to kind of, we're artists first. So me as an artist, I conceive the thought, but the manifestation process, the process from the thought to the actual manifestation process, sometimes could be easy and sometimes it could be rough, right? But when you're actually going through the process from the thought in itself to it actually being manifested or seeing the end, for me, by the time I get to the end, I get more and more excited and I become like this mad scientist. You know what I'm saying? I kind of have that effect to it. And I sit back and I laugh because I'm like, I remember when it was just a thought. And now look at us at the end of it, and it's funny to me, and I guess my daughter adopted this from me, like when you get nervous, when I get nervous or when I kind of try to shake something up, I kind of chuckle a little bit, like, yeah, all right, yeah. Or I laugh it off, you know what I'm saying? But it's at the end of it, it's beautiful, man. And I appreciate every time we're able to get together so we can have these builds, because again, I'm learning a lot. I'm always learning. We're both learning from each other. And just to get that synergy in place where we can just flow in that realm, it's always beautiful, man. So I appreciate you again, bro, even for donating the books to the Patreon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
A culture is only defined by its intellect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once you have 32,000 words, that creates a culture. That is thought of as a culture or subculture. 32,000 words.
Wow.
If there are at least 400 concepts or beliefs in a belief system, that is considered a religion. So these are things that I think, rather than it being a hindrance and people fearing culture, fearing religion, fearing spirituality, that this is a medium in which we can show people how courageous they can be.
Yeah, good stuff.
Tools.
Good.
It's funny because the very beginning of this, you did a lot of laughing.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. And I believe it was because you were nervous.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you. When it comes to that nervousness that I see in most people, immediately after, if they fight against that nervousness, greatness comes out of it.
Greatness.
Whew. Every single time that I've seen a person say, oh man, I think I'm gonna forget my lines, or oh man, all those people is on this stage, or oh man, what am I gonna say? Guess what ends up happening?
Mm-hmm.
They end up changing lives with the next thing that come out of their mouth. They end up changing lives with the next thing that comes from their body. What did Moses say? I don't know how to talk to him.
Right. Right.
I don't know how to talk. I don't know the words to talk to him.
Right. Right.
Lord said, just stand in front of him.
Yeah.
Give you the word. We didn't have any words for this session.
Yeah. Yeah.
We stood in front of the Lord.
Yeah.
And he gave us a word.
Yeah.
That's courage.
Amen. 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 Yeah. So it's beautiful, bro. It's beautiful. This made my day today, bro. I appreciate this again, man. So well, yeah. So for those of you guys that have not tuned in, the website, definitely go back and check out the website, become a member, www.thecoolspot.com. You can join as a free member. You'll get all the updates and for the blogs, new video releases, all of that stuff. Patreons come first. Of course, you know, Patreons are those that become patrons and they are sustainers that are sustaining the vision. So we can continue to do what we do. A lot of work goes into this in the background, a lot of studying, a lot of researching, a lot of editing, a lot of equipment that are required to get this thing done, to have the entire vision in place. It will take a lot of work. So I do appreciate everybody, and thanks again for Bro Mike for contributing. I'm just appreciative, man. This is a beautiful thing. Go back and check us out on Facebook at the Kool Spot NC. Via Facebook, Instagram, same thing, Kool Spot NC, Twitter, the Kool Spot, or Lemoi Desina. You could also, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. YouTube is going to
Yes.
be our major platform. This is where we're starting on YouTube, the Kool Spot on YouTube. Check out the previous blogs, not the blogs, but check out the previous podcasts on YouTube. And what else, bro, Mike? I keep forgetting.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's almost everything. The only thing that I have left is in case you want to get in contact with me. I don't have as many of diverse approaches towards contacting me. I only have one. Just meet me directly via email at mjenkins1007 @gmail.com. Any of your questions, if you are in need of any type of counseling, any type of talking that you want me to do, I'm right here for you.
Yep, absolutely. So again, it's your true Lemoi Desina.
And Mike Jenkins right here. I was going early.
No, you're good. But but it's always fun, like always. We love you guys. The love is real. The love is genuine. The love is sincere. Please be safe out here. Please, please, please be protected when you're out here, either going to the grocery stores or if you have to work, you're considered essential as I am. Please take precautionary measures and govern yourselves accordingly. All right. You guys create a beautiful evening. Thank you guys again. We love you guys.
We
Peace.
love you. Peace.